from their studio on the Titanic.
Lovejoy, find her.
I am a golden god!
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Talk radio.
Get in there, you big bloody I don't care what you smell!
You know how I know that you're gay?
Oh.
You have a rainbow bumper sticker on your car that says, I love it when balls are in my face.
That's gay?
Welcome to Filmgoat.
Welcome to Filmgoat. Welcome to Filmgoat.
Welcome to Filmgoat.
I'm a drug!
What's up? This is January 19th, 2016. This is Filmgoat. I'm Michael.
I'm Jason.
I'm David.
So, as usual, if you've listened to Filmgoat in the past, we are going through the Oscars year by year, starting with 1986 for reasons, 7, that are secret, only known to us. Or if you listen to that episode, go back. So this year, we are in 2004, which would be the 77th Oscars?
Yes.
Yes. And $1 Million Baby won.
Yes.
Another depressing Clint Eastwood affair.
Yes.
What did you guys think of that movie?
Well, how about we go through the other nominees first? Then we'll circle back to $1 Million Baby. The other movies that were nominated were The Aviator, Finding Neverland, Ray, and Sideways. But yes, I did enjoy $1 Million Baby. $1 Million Baby.
Probably more than the other movies. I mean, Finding Neverland, not exactly my favorite.
Yeah, and Ray Charles, I mean...
Ray Charles, the movie, Ray.
Ray.
Jamie Foxx nominated
And
Best
won?
Actor and Supporting Actor, so they had to give him one.
Yeah.
And another theme we here at Filmgoat have is Best Actor Afflictions. We've been kind of pushing it the last few years, but this year we're right. He is a blind man, in case you don't know who Ray Charles is.
We made some stipulations to the affliction. If it has anything to do with World War II, you're kind of exempt from having any affliction.
World War II stopped everything, including afflictions for Best Actors.
And then also, if you're Denzel Washington, you just win that.
That too.
You know.
There was a few things. So Jamie Foxx, afflicted with blindness and amazing soul.
Oh, yeah. A musical voice.
In the early 2000s, there was a lot of those musical biographies that were coming out, and Ray, I think, was maybe one of the bigger ones. There's another one that comes out next year that we might touch on, involving a certain Johnny Cash. But Ray, it's a good movie. It's more about the performance. It's one of those movies where, you know, the acting is kind of why you watch it. The story, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's a certain period in Ray Charles's life, and, you know, he has some problems, beats some women, but so do most famous musicians, so who are we kidding?
Well, it goes back. I think it intersplices parts of his childhood in with the film as well.
I don't remember. I just remember.
Yeah,
the Ray
I've
Charles
been
music.
quiet because I've seen all of these films, but I can't really.
You know what was
remember.
better, in my opinion? Collateral, which also came out that year. The
Oh, and
Superior.
that's what he was nominated for supporting actor for?
Indeed. Even though he's not really. He's kind of the main
He's the
character,
main character,
sort
yeah.
of. But hey, you got Tom Cruise in the movie. He's in it for 10 minutes. He's the main character. What can you do? And this was one of Tom Cruise's first movies where he was kind of a bad guy. Well, not kind of a bad guy. He's pretty bad. I don't know if there was anything before.
Well, it's always hard to, bad. Like, is what I mean. Of course, he's making the bad moral decision of killing people, but he's a businessman.
It's his job.
Yeah,
Seems
like this
kinda
is
psychopathic.
sometimes in this world, everyone's got a skill, and he just so happens to be good at killing people
In this world.
in this world,
He's good at it.
and and that's what he's good at. And obviously,
He's almost too good. That's why he, spoiler alert, dies at the end, because he keeps shooting in the same pattern, the double tap, and then the one to the head, two to the chest, one to the head. But unfortunately, a door gets in the way.
well, Jamie Foxx also just steps out of the way. That was a little weird.
It was weird. Who
But-
knows what happens?
Anywho. The Aviator.
Well, I think I was making a point.
Yeah.
Sorry, about something there. We got
Shades of Grey.
with
He wasn't all bad.
Oh, yeah,
necessarily.
like he didn't
He liked jazz.
seem like a psychopath. Like he was just killing for fun, like the Joker, or you know what I mean. Like he seemed like he had. It was
There's
pretty.
a few of those moments though after he kills people, and he's just staring blankly, kind of like, oh yeah. I mean, he is killing people. I was like, I don't know if all of his screws, but he visits Jamie Foxx's mother. He goes to a jazz club. Yeah, he's going to kill the guy, but he seems to enjoy it.
Well, yeah, and he seems to know his shit too about jazz.
Unless it's all just research and it's all bullshit. He just researched that. So
Particular,
he can get close.
yeah.
So you never know. We'll
You
never
do
know.
never
We don't
know.
really know who he is. It's all
But-
just one night.
Yeah, but he is being paid to do it.
Yes.
So I mean, like, it is his job. It seems like he's removed emotion from it. Like, it's business.
As
It's-
any hitman should.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
It's in the handbook.
And that's all I'm saying.
Good movie though.
That's all.
I like it better than Ray personally.
Is I don't think he. Yeah, I mean, he's a bad guy, but that depends on your view of what constitutes. But obviously, killing people for money is bad, but he certainly is interesting. I was going to say it's similar to Hannibal Lecter in that, like, he's likable, but he's also not doing things that are morally
Nothing really heroic.
on the level.
He saves Jamie Foxx technically at one point. He
Yeah.
shoots somebody, but that's it. Basically because he needs him still.
Yeah.
Collateral, great movie, best of 2004. No.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding. $1 Million Baby did win though. It's the only movie I've ever seen where a stool plays the main antagonist. That's pretty interesting choice stylistically by Clint.
No. The stool wasn't the antagonist.
It was life, just life itself.
Yeah.
It's just Clint Eastwood's statement on things are really bad, things kind of start sort of getting better, and it all goes back to shit again. I'm Clint. I'm depressed. I'm getting old.
Well, he had a few of these string of movies like this.
Yeah, Mystic River last year, depressing. I don't know what he made the next year. I know he made Flags of Our Fathers soon, depressing. It's like, hey, we raised the flag on Iwo Jima. We all went home. Yeah, Gran Torino.
My Gran Torino.
Gran Torino's not depressing, I don't think. I mean, the ending.
It's sort of uplifting, but
Yeah, the
it's always sad to see Clint die.
In comparison,
Spoiler alert.
in
Pretty
comparison to
dramatic
$1 Million Baby,
It's certainly not as depressing.
it's like the fucking Teletubbies.
So he lined it up a little bit. But he won Best Director. Clint Eastwood, probably a better director than actor, in my opinion, even though I love me some Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and some Dirty Harry.
Apparently, Scott Eastwood is in a movie that's coming out in January this month.
Oh, yes. That may already be out.
It's probably already out, but
Do you know anything
He
else
looks
about
so
it?
much like him.
it is true. But apparently, he's lacking all of the charisma.
Oh God.
And all the skill. And
Yeah, he's doing some Western thing, isn't he?
Yeah. It's
I mean-
his bride gets kidnapped and he goes to
if he
rescue
looks
her.
exactly like Clint Eastwood, I would watch any Western with a young Clint
No, he
Eastwood.
looks really a lot like him.
He really does. But based on the reviews I've read so far, apparently has absolutely none of the charm that his father did. So
Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe we won't see that. Whatever it is.
grizzly, old Clint.
Gonna rendezvous with my ass.
So $1 Million Baby, I guess, won all the big stuff, except for Best Actor.
Yeah, didn't win Best Actor.
Best Original Screenplay went to Eternal Sunshine, The Spotless Mind, one of my personal
Yes.
favorites. Probably my favorite romance movie.
No, the Charlie Kaufman. film.
Maybe Love
Charlie
Actually.
Kaufman.
Charlie Kaufman. We love Charlie Kaufman.
Adaptation, being John Malkovich,
He's
all solid.
He's pretty
Really looking
original,
forward to Anomalisa.
which we
Just saw.
yeah, but we're not going to talk about it yet.
No,
He
it's coming-
directed
it comes out in February. I think.
Synecdoche, New York. Yeah, that was the only movie he directed. Kind of strange. It's almost like it's better to have someone take his script and then do something with it. It was still visually amazing, but Eternal Sunshine, I think, was probably my favorite of the Charlie Kaufman scripts. Takes a romance, basically shows it in reverse, starts at the worst point, and then works backwards. So you're kind of happy at the end.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they break up at the beginning of the movie, so he tries to erase all of her memories. So it's got all this sci-fi stuff going on. It has a lot of fun, and the visual effects, like as the memories are falling apart, it's very fun to watch. And you start rooting for him to get his memories back, even though it's kind of impossible. And the whole thing's kind of impossible.
You know, while I enjoyed Eternal Sunshine,
Eternal Moon.
for the best original screenplay, I feel like The Incredibles should have won actually, because that was a pretty solid movie.
Incredibles is amazing.
That's a Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the Fantastic
Yeah, that's
Four.
the best. Yeah, that's the best Fantastic Four movie there is.
There's been a few of them, unfortunately, at this point. They're all
No,
bad.
the Incredibles is pretty incredible.
It is.
it's a great,
Samuel L. Jackson's in it. For Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Frozone.
Yeah.
That movie. I hope they make
Where's
another
my
one.
mask, woman?
Definitely one of my favorite Pixar movies.
And I think they drew something a little bit from Watchmen, right? Like all the superheroes have to, all the
I'm
vigilantes.
sure they
have
took
to quit.
elements from all sorts of superhero tropes. That's what Pixar usually does. Is they take things from other.
But yeah, I mean, and part of that's kind of what Watchmen's doing is subverting the superhero idea, because usually superheroes are always greeted by society and adored by society, whereas
This is what if superheroes retired and just
But-
went into society.
I'm pretty sure in The Incredibles, like there's something like the president or somebody's making them all
Yeah.
Some like act or something.
or they all can't.
There's like almost no bad guys anymore, but
Which is happening in Captain America Civil War.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah.
that
Okay,
sort of
so
thing.
they're just rehashing the story.
yeah, pretty much. They're running out of ideas, folks. Well, 2004, solid year, I suppose.
But we need to move on.
Yes, to 2005, Best Picture winner, Crash. That's my Crash sound. What else is nominated?
Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night and Good Luck, and Munich.
Munch.
Capote.
Do you guys agree with that choice of Crash?
No.
No.
No,
I don't really like that list at all. Well, I guess Good Night and Good Luck.
And
Solid
Munich.
flick.
Good Night and Good Luck and Munich are both
Good Luck.
Good Night and Good Luck.
Solid
I mean,
movie.
Munich was okay. I felt like it was long, and then there's the
It is long.
Eric Bana sex scene.
Yes.
With so much sweat and violence.
Pretty off-putting.
Yeah. It just made me feel very uncomfortable.
I definitely want to like Munich more than I do. It's a very good movie, but there is something missing, I feel. I'm not exactly sure what it is. The first couple hours of the movie, I think, are pretty riveting. And then it just, but unfortunately, it keeps going for like another hour. It
Yeah.
kind of starts meandering because they can't really find anybody anymore. That's almost the point, is they keep killing people and it just, the terrorism doesn't really go away, as we can see in our modern society. So it's not really a solid ending to a movie. You know, it's like, oh, well, we killed a lot of people, but it didn't really do anything. The end. Depression.
Oh, and as Michael was talking about a little bit ago, the music-themed movie this year is Walk the Line, which Reese Witherspoon won Best Actress
Yeah,
for
for
her
some
role
reason.
as June Carter. For
Yeah.
some reason, I almost said Helen Bonham Carter. I was like, no.
That would have been really subvertive.
No. But yeah, that was a fun flick.
was-
Joaquin, I felt, did a really good job.
Joaquin did, because when I first heard those previews and I found out that he was actually singing, I was like, that's pretty amazing. That's a
Yeah.
very good impression.
Pretty darn
Apparently,
close.
they wanted to cover up his scar, and he wouldn't let him.
Really?
Yeah. Because they're like, we want you to look like Johnny Cash. And
It's gotta sound
no,
like
that's
him.
me. Like, this is me.
It's not even that noticeable.
yeah,
either.
No.
right.
Ah, whatever. They don't know what they're talking
Who
about.
cares?
Many a sink was destroyed.
I think Dewey Cox destroyed more though.
Yeah, they took it up a level. Good movie.
Also came out that year was Match Point.
Oh,
Woody Allen.
should have been nominated for Best Picture. Probably better.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
I enjoy more.
Yeah.
than what was nominated?
But also came out that year was Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley.
Wonderful.
What?
Great.
She was nominated for Best Actress. She probably should have won.
It was better than Pride and Prejudice. Match Point. Let's rewind for half a second. It's a Woody
was-
Allen movie with ScarJo. who I
ScarJo.
like better.
Yeah. And
Jonathan Rhys
Myers.
Myers.
That movie, very unusual for a Woody Allen movie. I was very surprised when I saw his name in the opening credits the first time I saw it. I was like, he directed this? Shows that he is an accomplished filmmaker when he's not just making a movie about himself and how neurotic he is.
Yeah. You know, and that's what I always felt like kind of some of his movies, there's always that one character, usually the main one, the neurotic one.
Yeah.
That's pretty much him.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, you know, no matter how when you dress it up, it's just like, dude, come on. Like, write some other kind of characters,
Which he can.
which he did in that movie in Match Point.
and it turned out really well.
Yeah, it worked. Surprise, surprise. What also came out that year that I'd like to mention is A History of Violence.
Yeah. William Hurt nominated for
Viggo
Best.
Mortensen.
Yeah.
That's when Vigo started trying to shed that Aragorn image. And he started doing it pretty well between that and Eastern Promises.
Maria Bello's in it as well.
Yeah, and Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Always awesome.
And William Hurt.
William Hurt, who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for it.
Really?
Yeah, but Vigo wasn't. It was also nominated for
Vigo.
adapted screenplay.
Adapted.
Adapted.
We attempted to adapt it, but it didn't work.
Huh.
Good movie.
Interesting.
There's violent scenes in it, as the movie would has led you to believe.
Graphically violent. Scene.
Yes.
But a decent flick.
Decent.
I enjoyed it.
Not amazing, but I do like it.
Oh yeah, definitely worth the viewing though.
Mm-hmm.
And another sort of indie movie that came out that year too was Squid and the Whale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Eisenberg and Daniels? Jeff Daniels?
Yeah. I mean, it's like about a divorce essentially, and
Yeah.
you know,
I love those movies.
being a child of divorce, it's like I don't need to see.
We're
a
all
movie
children
about
from broken homes.
Not me.
Shut up, Jason.
Not me.
I beat you to it.
I came from a happy home.
But yeah,
Can you hear his happiness?
I don't need to see a movie about that. You know, I live that. So, you know,
Maybe a little too personal, but
and two, I did watch the movie and I was underwhelmed. So.
yeah, that was the main thing. I don't. It's like it was just meh. There's other movies about divorce, like Kramer versus Kramer, back in the '70s. Better, more depressing.
Before we go out here on the break, well, what do you think should have won instead of Crash? Like of any movie that came out this
Probably
year, not of those.
Match Point, yeah.
Match
probably
Point.
Match Point.
Suppose. I'm sure there's something we're missing, but
Yeah, hidden in there somewhere.
it certainly
Oh,
wasn't,
North Country. That should have won.
it certainly wasn't Memoirs
Yeah.
of a Geisha. Glad that
Constant
they
Gardener was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I might take that one. Syriana also came out that year.
That movie's
But-
confusing. to say the least.
I mean, George Clooney won for that.
Fat George Clooney.
Yes, he did. Fat Clooney.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we'll be back.
Just across the way, an island lost at sea. Another lonely day, no one here but me.
And we're back. This is Filmgoat. So, this being a podcast about movies, some movies are coming out in this year, 2016. And we saw a preview for one the other day. If you've been listening, you might know that a certain movie called Independence Day is near and dear to our hearts. One of the best films ever put celluloid, in my opinion. But there's a new one, ID42, Independence Day Resurgence. So we saw a preview for that. What did you guys think it looks like?
CGI fest.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
certainly.
Like all over the place.
That's how they do things now.
Right?
Like they
But-
just can't not use CGI in anything.
It's like CGI hit a plateau like 10 years ago, and it hasn't looked any better, in my opinion. Like I don't remember the last time I saw a movie and I was like, wow, that looks really cool. You always just know it's not real. Maybe we're spoiled, but I don't know. Because we can watch some older movies, like some of the old Star Treks. There's just something flying through space. Still, I believe it more. Maybe it's the storytelling. I
Yeah,
don't know.
for some reason, yeah, this is something. Yeah, I've noticed.
Maybe it's the models. Maybe models did make that big a difference. I don't know.
Clearly but you go back and look at Independence Day, the first one, the CGI, like with the planes and stuff, that definitely looks dated.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't look perfect by any means, but the city blowing up looks pretty cool because they really basically
Yeah.
just blew up a miniature city.
Yeah, miniature model, and that's what I'm saying. Like it looks more convincing.
Lord of the Rings, not my favorite movies, but they really built those big miniatures. They called them bigatures. Clever name. Like for Minas Tirith and stuff. And it looked pretty real because it was really there on the side of a tiny mountain, you know, just perspective shots and all that fun stuff. So the new Independence Day does not look like it has any of that incorporated into it. Looks like it's all made in a computer.
But
Even the
it was nice to see some familiar faces. You know, you get Jeff Goldblum in there, and the dad, on a boat for some reason.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's
Oh
dad.
yeah, Jeff Goldblum's dad's on a boat.
Yeah.
The dad.
The dad.
Yeah, fishing. Probably evacuating or something.
So,
Everyone's back except for Will Smith.
yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Not that Will Smith's not in it, but they got everyone. There was a lot of people in them. They even got dead people back. Apparently, Dr. Oaken, by all accounts, is in this movie.
As mentioned in an episode or two ago.
Yeah. Dr. Oaken. So everyone's back. And for anyone that doesn't know, they've already explained where Will Smith is. Apparently, after the war of 1996, they were test piloting some new alien
Technology.
jet hybrid, technology, and it just malfunctioned. He crashed and he died. Don't have to pay him. Done.
Explained away on a website.
Hopefully he got a military funeral.
Hopefully they like have his grave and they're all saluting it. Hopefully it's
Hopefully
the guy
that guy
from
from there. I was gonna say like he's
For
there.
those
saluting.
of you that don't know, during President Pullman's
Okay, we
greatest
went
speech.
through this. They know about
There's
the
the
great.
best extra.
Yeah, we know. They know.
Sometimes you
The
need
people
a,
know about this.
sometimes
Okay,
you need a reminder.
they don't need a reminder of him.
Independence Day.
He's burned into their minds.
Other movies that special effects kind of hold up, old Star Wars movies
Definitely.
still look awesome. And we saw this Independence Day trailer before Star Wars. Yes, we saw Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Just like everybody.
The Force Awakens.
Like sheep,
Episode
we
7.
flocked to the theater.
Opening night.
With grand expectations.
December 17th.
Yep. We waited in line.
2015.
All
Waited
the
in that
people-
big line.
Yeah. There was people with lightsabers, but they weren't allowed to use them. And people with masks, but they weren't allowed to put them on. One guy was dressed as George Lucas, and that was probably my favorite part of the night.
Right? Yeah, that was genius. But anywho,
That
we
movie-
saw the movie.
I would rank it probably number 4 in the list of the 7 movies because it's better than the prequels, but and that's not saying much.
It's basically a remake of A New Hope.
It literally-
probably goes right in between 3 and 4.
It's almost a carbon copy at points, which kind of bothers me.
It's amazing how derivative it was.
Let's just make everything bigger. Instead of a Death Star, it's like a Death Planet now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid.
also destroyed by X-Wings. Also
Going
had
through
a trench. Yeah.
The trench. I mean, the trench part. Start flying through the fucking trench. I'm like,
Dude.
again?
When are the bad guys going to get it? Build an anti-X-Wing gun.
Anti-aircraft.
Smaller.
You would be undefeatable.
We've been doing that well since World War II. It's like we didn't just shoot the big bombers. We shot the little planes guarding them. It's like, you got to take them out. Since apparently that's all, like, the resistance or whatever it is.
They just never prepare for the obvious eventuality, which is X-Wings are going to come.
And apparently the resistance only has like 16 X-Wings still.
And-
Why don't they have more?
And that right there, the Resistance.
Okay.
There's also the Republic. Why aren't they 2 separate entities? Why aren't they one thing trying to fight the First Order? Why would the Republic even allow the First Order to come into existence after Return of the Jedi?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with that because the Empire, it's not like the whole entire Empire collapsed. There probably was a lot of people still floating around. I can understand there being a little contingent. I don't know why the Resistance and the Republic aren't the same entity. Why it's just not the army of the Republic.
Yeah.
Like they can't politically do it for some reason. I'm like, but everyone saw, no one cares. I'm like, these guys are still bad, right?
And then even when they blow up the 5 planets somehow from one beam, it spreads out to 5 different fucking
Physics.
planets.
Kind of cool. but.
Still, the Republic's just like, we're not going to do anything. Let the Resistance do
And
it.
did the Republic get destroyed there?
Yeah, like what is the Republic right there?
I think my biggest problem with the movie was not its derivativeness or that they killed a certain somebody that we all love. It's the fact that it makes the end of Return of the Jedi completely pointless. Almost the whole story of the movies was to basically win, and now it's just 30 years, and apparently everything's worse than it was. Like Han and Leia have like broken up. That's not what anyone wanted to see.
And Luke's a myth.
Yeah, no one even knows where he is.
He ran off after he failed training his nephew. So yeah, and
Yeah,
just
the
leaves.
first sign of trouble, he just leaves. That sounds very much like Luke.
And I don't know why they don't castrate anybody in the Skywalker family. Because, well, I guess we're just going to talk about it. So, like, Han Solo's kid kills him, and that's obnoxious. And I guess Han Solo's kid is a Jedi because, Leia, also Force sensitive, has some Skywalker blood in him. Apparently not enough because he's really not that good of a Sith or whatever he is, since he's technically not a Sith, since he gets beaten by 2 untrained people, a stormtrooper and then a girl who has never done anything her whole entire life.
Until the Ben Solo, the son who murders his father, says, you might have the Force. And then all of a sudden, she's just using Force powers left and right.
Very well.
Jedi mind tricks, like 14 people. Oh, so stupid.
Yeah, the Jedi mind trick, I feel like, would be one of the harder things to do as a Jedi, to really control someone's mind.
Yeah, it's not the first thing you learn how to do.
Yeah, that's the pull the lightsaber out of the snow, which he does as well.
I mean, you're not even a Jedi, and you're a learner
Padawan.
for the longest time.
It should be the guy that was
I feel
trained by
like-
Luke and this Lord Snoke, Supreme Leader Snoke.
I mean, they
Supreme Leader
They don't call it
Gollum.
a Padawan mind trick. They call it a Jedi mind trick. Like somebody that's like clearly experienced with the Force could do that.
And she's just mind tricking everyone all over the place, like with no effort. It takes her like 2 tries.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
so that happens. There's a few things.
There's a few things that just seem like they just happen because plot convenience. Like, oh, let's go visit this character that somehow knows about the Force and has Luke's lightsaber that fell in Bespin.
Yeah,
like
somehow.
What?
Explain that away. And somehow Ben Solo has Darth Vader's mask somehow after the
Well,
Death Star
I
exploded.
can deal with that because, well, no, they burned him on Endor.
But did he have
Oh.
the Did he have the mask on?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
They put
'cause
his
they
mask back
Yeah,
on?
they did. It shows it.
Oh, that's weird that they put his mask back on.
Yeah, so
you
no
know?
one could see his face. Yeah, it does. I just
That's
watched
kind
it
of weird.
recently.
Yeah, I suppose it's true.
That's
it
why
looks,
it's
it looks
burned.
like it's not a.
That would have been ridiculous, yeah, if he just like just flying through the Death Star wreckage, just like there, found it. It's like pretty good condition considering this.
So
whole
I
thing
guess maybe
exploded.
when he went back to Endor to retrieve his grandfather's mask, he probably killed all the Ewoks.
Now, see, I would have been okay with that.
They should have showed that.
That would have improved the movie. Yeah, there's a lot apparently that happened between Return of the Jedi and this movie that I kind of would have liked to have seen, but a lot of it just kind of goes unsaid.
Just so
Why
that
the
they can
resistance?
kill Han Solo.
Well,
Like Luke apparently really fucked up. It's like you feel like you'd have a lot of contingency plans to not let this happen again, and
Right.
it does.
it's just like, why wouldn't you go pull a Ben Kenobi and just go be a hermit in the desert?
Oh, he does kind of do that.
After
he's
fucked up.
training people.
Oh, that's right.
Like, why would you train?
Well, because he
anyone
wanted to
else?
start the Jedi Order again, and clearly that was a bad idea. There honestly should be no Jedi.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So-
Like, why wouldn't he just like die out and like let it all? Like, I don't know.
Well, because Han, he couldn't tell his sister, like, tell Han Solo, like, yo, can you not fuck my sister and like get her knocked up with some Force-sensitive baby, please? Like, all right, Luke. Maybe you're right. I did see all that shit that we just went through.
Well, I mean, and too, Han Solo never seemed like the father type to me.
I mean, I was okay with him, having abandoned and just kind of gone back to his smuggling ways. That seems like in line with his character. But then they killed him.
But then the ever staring at your son walking away. Just let's stop the movie, for 3 minutes and just have Han Solo look at this guy. All right, that was some good footage.
That's when he should have took his mask off the first time. That would have improved the movie. He yells, "Bad."
Okay. With all the negativity that's going around right now, how about we say something positive about the movie?
Oh, okay.
I still want to see it again. Is that a positive?
We saw it in
Suppose.
glorious IMAX 3D, and it looked really good.
The movie did look pretty good. Clearly, a lot of money was.
Yeah, I
in
like
it.
the practical effects. I thought those looked good.
Yes, at least there were sets.
I was a little disappointed with that CGI, though, to be honest with you.
The way the X-wings and the Millennium Falcon moved didn't look like anything should move, even in the old ones. Like they looked too bouncy. Like
thought-
physics clearly was.
I thought we were being positive here.
Well, okay. I mean, I still liked everything bouncing around, but it just didn't look real. Even though the first time the Millennium Falcon starts flying around, and even though Han Solo's not flying it, another negative, sorry, and they're flying away from the TIE fighters, I didn't enjoy that scene. I was like, oh. The whole scene, I was not rooting for them not to die. I was, please don't break the Millennium Falcon, because then Han Solo can't fly this thing.
See, what I'd say, kind of, very basic, review of it would be, it's got a lot of the visual style and that that Star Wars had, but it just doesn't seem to have too much of the I don't know,
Substance.
yeah, like Star Wars. I guess it was never too substantial, but
Well, it's like they're kind of forcing the story to happen. Like I'm hoping the
see what you did.
second and third or 8th and 9th installment of this. Something I read was that they're making the Star Wars movies like Yoda talks, and it's kind of funny because they're doing it backwards. They do middle, beginning, end. It's like around the survivors a perimeter create.
Yeah.
Middle trilogy make first.
Anyway,
There shouldn't be a new trilogy though.
I
mean,
to me, if it was going to be a new trilogy, I would have, and this, as I believe me, I wouldn't have thought I'd be saying this before I saw this movie. I kind of wish I would. Kind of interested to see what George Lucas would have done with it, what he would have done with his characters, because those are his characters. JJ took them and killed one of them.
The most likable.
I think he
Yeah.
killed himself though, because Harrison Ford was notorious for not wanting to do it. So at least
Yeah,
he
I mean
did
that
it.
pisses me off too. That Harrison Ford just like kind of masochistic or a sadist here, liking to inflict all this pain upon the movie-going audience. This emotional pain, seeing one of their favorite characters die right in
People
front of them.
talk about the
That-
prequels raping your childhood. This literally is killing
that,
characters.
That hurt a lot more than the prequels, honestly. The prequels
Han
just
Solo.
are like just kind of suck, but that was like taking something away from me. You know what I mean? Like,
Han Solo is dead. So
Yeah.
now when you watch the old movies, you know that all this other stuff will happen in his life, but it will end with him with a lightsaber through his gut and he's going to fall off a chasm. That's depressing.
by his own son.
Yeah, by his own son.
Don't go on that bridge. No
It
one
did-
survives that bridge.
It did not earn his death. That is for sure.
So
It's not necessarily him dying isn't even that bad.
to try and get something positive before we go out here, we're coming up on the end of the show. Before we go out, what's one positive thing about the movie?
When Luke finally showed up, I did get really stoked and it almost made me forget everything I just watched. And then the camera started spinning around and she just held the lightsaber out for like 10 seconds and then I forgot, the goodwill went away. Because all the other Star Wars movies end on a static shot. This one is trying to be different. It was doing the helicopter turnaround thing. But I love me some Luke. And since Han's dead, now all I have is Luke. Certainly don't have Leia. I don't even know if she was actually in that movie after watching it.
Okay, Jason, positive from you.
Positive for me is I really enjoyed the Finn character. Not so much, the actual character, but just the idea of a stormtrooper not jiving with the chaos that you're trying to create.
It only took him like 2 decades to finally realize what he was doing was bad.
Yeah, right. But
Thanks, movie convenience.
that was cool seeing the sort of the other side of the trooper.
I did
life.
like that someone flew a TIE fighter around.
Okay, you can't have two.
No. Now I'm thinking about
Okay.
it. Few and far between.
So my positive would be the introduction of C-3PO. Was probably my favorite part of the movie. God damn it. Gay robot was my favorite part of that fucking movie.
And the movie, we never thought in a million years that C-3PO would have been the best part of the movie. One of the
His
greatest introduction.
Oh, it was so good. It was just so in keeping with who he is.
least they got one thing right.
That was the one thing they got right, I will say.
Han
Yes.
Solo.
At least parts of the movie kind of felt like Star Wars, even though it was ripping
Yeah.
it off. Unlike the prequels, which just kind of felt like something.
It's kind of like when a modern day band covers a classic song with all new equipment and all these new instruments and
They're a
everything
good
sounds
band.
so good. It all sounds so great and it's really well done. There's just that thing missing from it that made the original great.
That is a very apt analogy.
So on that note, we are going to plug our Bro Dogs episode, which should be coming out here.
Quite soon.
Yeah. I think
Hopefully.
in like a week or two.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We think.
So
A tight ship.
get
we were-
ready.
Get ready.
I
for
swear
Bro
I will
Dogs.
look up the exact date.
Get your
at
ear
some
holes
point.
ready.
But
At
yeah,
some
get
point
ready
you'll know.
For
But check out
Bro
Noise
Dogs.
Fox. That's the platform it's being
Yeah.
distributed on. You
Be
can
on-
find lots of info there.
Yep.
Follow it on Instagram, all that fun stuff, social media.
Yep.
Look for it. Anyway, guys, it's been Filmgoat. Star Wars disappointing. And that's our message for today.
All right, guys.
Toodaloo.
Ciao.
See you.